But anyway, the day came that I finally had to retire. Did so. But in the meantime, this woman that I married, that had been married before to an executive from Honeywell Corporation, one of her edicts about marrying her was that I never asked her about any of those years. I didn't. 2 or 3 times she let something slip that did, like the fact that she had been a key punch operator for years back in the 30s and 40s. But anyway, after getting out, she had been very busy down here in the Southwest. She had really fallen in love with cowboy and Indian art. And so we started hitting all the stores, making friends with these store owners and all. And one couple, boy, here I go again with that line closing shut on me. Very small shop up on Shawsdale Road. And it reached the point where every Saturday morning we would go there and see what was due that week. And got to liking this stuff. It was called Native American art. Didn't have money to buy the good stuff, but we sure loved looking at it. And then discovered that, hey, you know what? This guy doesn't sell for $10,000 a piece, but this one is going to. So we'd spend $1,000 for a piece of art. In many cases, the artist did it for us. And some of that stuff's pretty good in price. Well, we also got to meet other people, and we also got to meet the artists. Many of the artists we met, most people in the art field don't like. It so happened we do. And Sudi had a pretty good part of it. The collection also grew in that we started adding Western, Southwestern to it. This is where the world, quote unquote, gets a little bit interesting. While in the Arctic, 1948, remember that date, each of us had an Eskimo who adopted us, and their job was to keep us alive. Because us Yankees don't know how to live in the Arctic. Believe me, we don't. And mine was a Neelik. A Neelik was a real good chap. He made sure I didn't freeze to death. His wife made me the fur boots and oilskin, sealskin boots. My dog fur wraparound cape, my tent material cape, my GI blanket material for the cape liner. Anil's wife did all of that for me, basically free of charge. Each one of us becoming adopted really became a part of their little encampment. And that's all it was an encampment. Well, they would take us out hunting. And one time I was a part of the crew that went walrus and seal hunting. And we got us a pretty good sized set of walrus tusks. Came back to the camp. Well, that might be a bit frustrating. One day while we were out there, nobody but he spotted something. I was starting to have just a little bit of a lump that I had never had before. You run. He trotted me all the way back to the camp. He would not let me sit on the sled. We got back to the camp. He didn't hick his dogs up, he just let them sit. Dragged me into the barracks, sat me down, took off my fur pants, peeled off my heavy wool socks, peeled off my cotton socks. Here my big toe had started to freeze. And he spotted that slight limp and knew he had to get me back to natural warmth. I owed him something. Don't you dare sit there and watch you. 2 cartons of cigarettes for saving my life. He got a big present. Now remember, an Eskimo has nothing. They make every single thing they need themselves, with the exception of a couple tools. That fancy round knife that they got everything with, every one of them has one of those, but it was made by them. And I had enough common sense to ask on the one walrus that I did get that I be allowed to keep the tusks. He said yes. And I got 1 tusk and I got 1 cribbage board. He had taken the tusk, and one of the common things that they make for public sales down in Goose Bay and civilization were the tusks that you see. And that was his trade to me for the cigarettes. And so when we did finally start putting the collection together, as far as Native American pieces, that was the first piece in the collection. There were other pieces, a couple from France. I don't remember one English. But they're minor. We have about 1,000 pieces in the collection. About 400 of those have some value. Now remember, we did not have money, and so we couldn't spend big. What Josie would do would be to look at the art and the artist. This one's gonna make him. She was pretty good at this. So she would buy 1 level down in ability, which didn't cost near anything. 10 years later, the cost is up here. So we have a very expensive collection now, but we bought it for next to nothing, which is why people look at the collection and wonder, how come this poor guy do that? Yeah, they're pretty easy when you didn't have to spend that much for them. But again, we met a different bunch of people. Had a little bit of fun doing it. And then Alzheimer's hit, and that was the end of that.